Today we're going to carry on with this undead wizard we've got here. Um, he is. We're going to take him to a bit more detailing stage. We're going to tatter up his robes. We're going to give him a bit more life. And guess what? Guess what? I have got reference. I've finally got to the stage where I was like, Matt, you're going to need to actually know what a skull looks like. And to do that, you got to have reference. And look, wasn't too bad. I've got sort of this cheek down to the teeth here. The nose is probably a bit low, so I could raise the nose, the broken nose. Oh, but when you look at this one, pretty close. Got the eye sockets. And we've got some details of mist, which I like to add in. These ridge lines around the eye sockets just there. Now, if I'm being a dirty concept artist who has to bust out a concept because I've got a creature modeler who's waiting for work and the studio is like, Matt, give us a creature ASAP. And I'm like, okay, that could take me like a week as I do my studies and look at different creature types and the biology, and then he's waiting, we're paying, and you've got to give us a design today. This is what concept artists might do. They might grab their reference and say, grab the skull here. I'll push caps lock somewhere along the way. There we go. And take this reference, which technically they could paint. It would just take them maybe a couple hours. And they'd do this. They'd grab it and do this. And then maybe lower the opacity so we can match it up. Grab the warp tool and start to borrow some details. Now you only do this if you're thinking, well, this is all staying in-house and no one in the outside world's going to see it. And this is so I can quickly pass it on to my 3D artist. And no one's going to know. The 3D artist is going to get good reference material. And everyone is going to be happy. And for the most part, you are, until a year or so later, 2 years later, the marketing director comes up and says, Matt, we're going to use your art in our art book. Send us that skeleton sample that you did. And then you'll be thinking, oh my god, I've plagiarized people. And then you'll say, well, you can use this one and this one, but this one's, the word we use is photobashed, which is probably another word for stealing. But it's not meant to get out there. It's just meant to be between you and the 3D artist. Yeah, so this is what a lot of concept art can do to quickly bust out ideas, is just to grab these things that are out there on the internets and start to steal them, especially for reference material, you know, to tell the guy this is what a skull actually looks like. Why grab reference, try redraw it, and spend you know, a day or so doing a skull study basically, when you can do this in a matter of minutes. And then, yeah, then you might just... Now rest assured I'm not grabbing this, I'm just showing you. I am going to do a skull study, because this is me getting better at art. It's not me meeting a deadline to get out to a 3D artist who's waiting for work and costing the company money. Yeah, so that's, I mean, that's not perfect, of course. This is a rush job in itself. But I might even grab that. You can move the original picture. Usually by the end of it, I'm pretty confident. Someone at the door. I'll just see what's going on there. Oh. Hang on, I'll be back in a sec. Wrong house. Looking for a Daniel, if there's a Daniel out there waiting on a food order. No. Okay, and then yeah, by the time you've finished with this, it'll be unrecognizable. Of course, I've outed myself here because you all know what the original's like. But yeah, industry insight. There'll be so much in-house art out there that is grabbing lots of artist stuff. But as long as you don't go around starting to pass it off as your work, which most concept artists aren't thinking. They're just thinking, I've got to give something quick that the modeler can start to work off. Yeah, so I'd get it. Yeah, he needs a lot of work, especially around that nose area. I'd probably dull that down. But you can actually see there's a bit of detail there. But look, I grab that layer, I delete it. It's never happened. And I've got these guys here for reference only. And the reference I like is some of the underlighting on this skull is fantastic. See, the other ones are a bit... Are they dark shadows? Maybe. And this guy did a good skull study where I really like just the stylization of it. He broke it down into very simple shapes very quickly, but from a distance, that looks like a skull to me. So that's what I talk about when I say it's important not to worry about details as much as getting those big shapes in. And he's got about, what, 4 or 5 actual grayscale colours in there to create the skull. You probably colour picked. If you're out there, tell me if you colour picked. Apparently that's a sin as well. But sometimes it's pretty hard to tell colours, especially when they're against each other, fooling the eye. Let's see how close he got, eh? So I grab that colour, and where's that? That's maybe that colour. Boom! Oh, it's darker. Maybe he did eyeball it. Anyway, people are impressive with what they can do. Okay, so yeah, reference. I love the lighting on this guy. He's and the colours, though I'm not going that red there because it's going to be in a green foggy swamp. So there's going to be a lot of sort of bluey green bounce lights going on. And cool shapes too. I like how they gave him a stronger jaw, pointy jaw. And yeah, just this inner glow that he's got going on rather than just going for dark shadows here. It's really nice. Anyway, back to my guy, Undead Wizard, who is about to cast a spell. I've been looking at this picture for a while and absolutely hate this part. I mean, it doesn't make sense. What's that joint doing there? The joint should be here and this should be a long bone. So let's fix that up first. Because I woke up in the middle of the night, gasping as I remembered this part. So, fixing it with the old smudge brush. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to put a gap there. Just to make him feel undead. He's got a bone. And let's get rid of that. There's this little gap of the twin styropsis and the outer velocculi, which if you know your anatomy will realize I just made that up, and if you don't know your anatomy you probably guess that as well. Nice. Okay, let's get this head right. That'll be my brain mission today. I've told my head, my brain, all we're doing today, Matt, don't get overwhelmed. We're just going to focus on this, and we're going to grab elements from these guys to make a really cool skull. And my brain says, you sure about that, mate? Last time you told me you were just going to block out a shape, and that was going to take half an hour, and it took you over an hour. And I'll be like, would I lie to you? Would I? And because it has the memory of a goldfish, it will say, no, you've always been true to me, Matt. Okay, so what do we want to recreate? We want to some construction going on outside there, if you guys are hearing that. I want to recreate this bone part here, the outer femorius. So let's do that. Simple as that, and you've got yourself an outer femorius. And I might play with the shape here, the silhouette of it, and it's got a bit of that there. Get some shading in there to separate it. Even though light's going to hit here, we can have it a little bit translucent. Maybe the light hits the edges a little harder. Now let's go just soft brush. Be careful with the soft brush. You got to be careful you're in dodge when you want to be in burn. And you can use your smudge tool just to fix up stuff. And light's going to hit that edge there, so let's push it a little bit. Give this guy some shape. Good, good. Now, yeah, I want to create this this inner light. It's a bit cliche, just to I might close the door. There's a lot of noise coming through. Stopped as soon as I got out there to shut the door. Right. I am now carrying on making shape here. Let's have a look. So there's a nice little hollow thing here. It's the thing with reference as well. There's nothing there a little bit here. I think that's what he's recreating. I like that. Just gives it a little extra detail and shape. It's not there. It's not really there. You see he's pushed it in his study, which is cool. I'm going to push it in my study. So let's see, what are we going to do? Okay. Going in. I've already forgotten. Panicking. There we go. So that comes in there. Maybe there's a little there. Let's double it here, because the teeth kind of, that's not where the teeth are, but they start to groove it out a bit with this sort of groove action. And this, yeah, they've all got it. Oh, and look, well, my nose felt too low, but the moustache is going to go over here. Moustache is going to go here. So I think this is alright. Let's get that in it. Oh, I really like this as well. I think he's given it expression. This guy's done it too. This is what skulls do. They're frowning. Oh. Here's a watermark. Get out of there, Matt. Okay, so we're going to do the same with the old Mr. Smudge. And here we go, there we go. And I don't want just these, well, maybe I do want these black depths, because I want them to have glowy eyes. So maybe I need it black to highlight that glowy eyes. See, look, he's got a skull frown. I'll just draw and play for a bit here till I get the shape. So I want to work on this nose too. He needs work, but not as much as I thought. There's the shape, basic shape there. I've got the bridge right, maybe. And yeah, you definitely want the strong white shape here, because it's got it here, and I want the angle, which I haven't got. It's a good little angle here that they've all got. So let's get a bit of that in. Angle. Okay. That's cool. And God, his big shapes are so good. I've got pretty carried away with the size of his cranium here, but I might even push that. Stylized. Let's, because he is a wizard. They're pretty smart folk. Maybe the bigger cranium makes him feel like he's smarter than most. but I'll shape it like that so it does feel exaggerated. That is actually a really nice shape right there. That's a nice touch. Let's zoom this in more, put more here, around here. Let's push this part, and then we're really starting to figure out what this guy is all about. He's definitely not the kindly wizard we could have been going for. The one that just was wandering through this swamp, got a little tired and decided to sit on this evil, corrupted stump that grabbed him with its animated roots, drowned him in the swampy ground, and now he's joined the undead puppet army this stump contains. He's not the nice wizard. I mean, look, he's just frowning all the time, and he's got that big arrogant head. So he will have been an evil wizard looking for the power of that stump, of the soul jar trapped in it. We can, I think we can safely assume that now. Maybe the soul jar was a powerful wizard once, and this guy knows it, and he wants to find that spirit, chain it to him, so that he can learn its secrets, its power. For now it's a tortured spirit trapped in a stump, but maybe once it was a powerful wizard in his own right. This guy learned about it and said, I'm going to find that, and I'm going to control it. That's what happened, folks. And look what it got you. Now he's a rotting corpse at the end of a root system. And it's not even his own skull. He's borrowing the skull from other reference. He's a skull study. Stinking skull study. Okay. Should I just open up those eyeballs just a little bit? I can always darken them again if I want to get the light in there. Too much. It was supposed to go way down. Here we go. So light's coming in there. There's a bit of bounce light. Oh, that's actually already making it. I'm knocking back the blacks in this image to make it feel a little more natural. Good, 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 good. I might still even grab that burn tool. Give it just a hint there. Top. Now this looks a little line arty, which is okay sometimes, especially when we go stylized, but we can not be so heavy with it. Smudge tool stopped working, or I've done a little hidden mask path without knowing it. No. Oh, Why is that so subtle? Because the strength is only 10%. Always go up to 100. Don't half-ass it on the smudge tool. 100 it. That's how I live my life. One smudge tool at a time. Might even get up in the nose there. What's this bone all about? The orbitus satula. Might do a hint of that. Did you guys even know? Oh, I guess that's the bit there. Do a hint of it that no one will probably ever see, because you'll be pulled. Oh, he's looking pretty good. I want to tighten that up just a little. He doesn't need that line. Doesn't need that. Then he's even going to have some shape there. Pachoing, pachoing, pachoing. Let's define this a little bit. Noise. See what they do around the eye socket area. Edging comes out a little bit. Catches the light there. I'm probably concentrating too much on the light here. And we can knock that back. So light here. And light definitely here. And even there's going to be some hitting in the side here. Noise. Where's that light going to be hitting? Maybe that comes all the way down. Into there, into here. Underlighting here, but also hitting the here. And we can lighten that up. Maybe even that. Maybe not. What have we got? Burn tool. Just get this shape going here. See, I'm starting to get lots of little details drilled in here just by playing and trying to build up a shape with light and dark. Light hitting here, shadow under here, shadow here, light on the edge. I'll build a shape here by having the light there, a bit of dark there. I'm tempted to put some light here. Okay. let's just smudge tool the heck out of his whiskers here, because at the moment, but Colombe. Okay, okay. Here we go. Now I might change the moustache style to more, what's the word? I'll show it. And all you people watching right now, tell me the word. It's walrus? This way, he feels more undead, I think, longer dead, just because the other way seemed a bit trimmed, like he was keeping his moustache. This way, we can make him feel a little bit more unkempt, a little more overgrown. A little more living under the swamp earth for hundreds of years type of vibe. He's still looking pretty good for that. But I think that's selling the moustache. Ooh, these are nice touches here. Yeah, that's more wizard, I think. Yep. And we'll give him a little bit of stylization here. Eh? Pop that collar a little bit, my friend. You were once a powerful wizard. Nice. My brain's telling me, hey, you said half an hour. I can just tell it, yeah, I said that like 10 minutes ago. Settle down. Anyway, sorry, I lost track of time. But we'll know. Okay, and I might start a little test of his tattered robes here. How am I going to do this? I was thinking I'm just going to stick holes in it. Of course, I'm going to get to that point where I'm like, alright, Matt, you got to find reference for that. But, hasn't happened yet. It's square his shoulders just a little. That's good. That's good. Okay, so, bit of ribbon. Maybe. Double ribbon. Some holes. Not a good shape. Let's give it some hard edges, hard angles. What's going on here? Would that happen? That's his hip joining to his arm. That's not going to happen. Control Z, first time today. I should keep a tally of how many Control Z's I do, as a matter of pride. And now look, I'm hovering over that Control Z. I've been drawing for about half an hour without Control Z. As soon as I do it once, hovering, taking the hand away. This is me using the smudge tool 100% just to push around these pixels. It's the best way to play with shapes rather than drawing a shape, erasing, drawing a shape, erasing, trying to get it right. This way you just play, and you can do it with one hand. It's like doing stunt drawing. Starting, you can see the shape I'm starting to develop here. Big hard black shadow there, which I'll probably soften at some point. Whoops. Oh. Control Z. It's kind of cool. Just do that right there to get a harsh bit of cloth. Maybe this is a cuff here, so we can do a bit of that. Using the smudge tool as an eraser here. I don't know if I've actually really erased it or moved the pixels into some other smaller dimension. And then we can play with the beard. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So yeah, if you haven't tried this dodge tool, burn tool, smudge technique, try it out. You start off drawing, laying down a very basic shapes and colours, values, and then you can just sit back and relax. I find the smudge tool just a very enjoyable way to work, rather than trying to get that image drawn right, and then you get attached to what you've drawn because you spend a lot of time on it and you don't want to undo stuff. This way I'm breaking things all the time. The only mindset you need is to know when to stop. Which is hard. Okay. This guy is definitely taking shape. I should establish the light source. The light source is going to be the spell he's casting out of this hand. So, for that we'll need a hand. And it's on its own layer. Part of a hand, part of a hand. Let's combine those. Boom, boom. This is a bony hand, so we want to emphasize the bone joints. This can be maybe even a little talon-like. Here we go. This is the other finger here. 3 fingers, as wizards do. If you want to join this particular wizard group, you have to sacrifice a finger for power. You don't, but it just saves me drawing 4 fingers. And that's a disclaimer too. You don't need to sacrifice fingers for power. So don't start doing it. And if you do, let me know how it goes. I mean, we could have stumbled upon something there. That's how these magical things usually happen. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. We got a hand. There's definitely a hand starting there. Let's give it some shapes. Oh, I'm putting it there, but the shadow's probably going to be on this side because of the glowing ball of power. Good, good, good. Let's give him a big joint there down to a skinny wrist bone. Because this guy doesn't lift. He's a wizard. Give him a pointy elbow. The double scapular joint. Do a little bit of bounce light off the elbow here. Bounce light. Of course. It's pretty cool. Pretty undead. Tighten it up with Mr. Smudge. He comes in, sorts things out. Like a good smudge tool does. And this here, it's going to be part of the robe, because this is actually a tree root that's gone right up through the rib cage. It's not his body or his legs. It's a tree root. So it's, yeah, like a hand puppet that this bloomin' tree stump is waving around. So at some point we're gonna make this more feel like a root. Quite like that, because it looks like its leg there. He's striking some funky pose. This is his robe over the top, and there'll probably be looks like he's walking walking like what? Some fabulous mage on a catwalk. Okay, tighten up this guy. Send in Mr. Smudge. Send in Mr. Smudge. And that's what he does. 2 fingers on this hand, because become truly powerful, you should sacrifice 3 fingers off your left hand. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Look what happened to this guy. There's no proof that he got any benefit from it. In fact, I'd say he's a regretting a lot of things right now. Get that arm up there into the sleeve. Nice. Okay, that has got to be close to half an hour. Right, Brain? Right, Matt. Okay, I am going to sign off, leave him there, and come back to him tomorrow, where we should be ready to finish him, detail the rest of the figures and stumps, see how far we want to take them. It might be just basic shapes because they're going to be in the fog, so what's showing up through the fog, not details. And then yeah, colour. And colour's pretty fun with grayscale. You don't just slap colour on the top and say, there, I got all my values right, so that's my colours. After you got your base colours on, then you'll do a lot of play with colours to bring in new colours and colour on your colours. Get some colour in those shadows, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Well, anyone out there who was watching, I appreciate it, thank you, and hope to see you again. I've got a YouTube. If you want to go and watch that, there's a link below where I talk about Dungeons and Dragons, art process, and lots of other stuff. Not really, mainly those two. And yeah, we'll carry on drawing this guy. I'll post it up and maybe edit out the door knocking.